After braving torrential rain and blistering gales to find Eurasian otters on the Isle of Mull, we were optimistic for the challenge that lay ahead. The Biome team was on a mission to find and film the UK's largest avian predator, the white-tailed sea eagle, Haliaeetus albicilla. With 480 kilometres of ample coastline for the eagles to live, breed and hunt in, finding these majestic predators was going to be no easy feat. With the otters, our search had been restricted to the coastline alone. The eagles could be anywhere. Myself and the Biome project team spent 10 days filming on the Isle of Mull, hoping to see these amazing birds and capture them on film. We spent every waking moment exploring the island, scouring the treetops, the skies and the rocky outcrops out at sea for signs of these majestic birds of prey. Our efforts paid off.
Oh wow!
See the yellow feet.
It's gorgeous.
These impressive birds are masters of the skies. White-tailed seagulls can have a wingspan of up to 2.45 metres. They have brown plumage with a pale head and neck, and the tail feathers on the adults are wedge-shaped and white, giving the bird its name. The white-tailed seagull has a wide distribution, with population strongholds in Norway and Russia. They breed as far west as Greenland and Iceland, and as far east as Hokkaido, Japan. Intensive persecution over hundreds of years drove these eagles to extinction in the UK in the early 20th century. So, white-tailed seagulls were driven to extinction here in the UK in 1916. It's thought that the last nesting pair was on the Isle of Skye, and since then all the birds that we now have in the UK are a reintroduced population that have come from Norway. The first successful reintroduction was in the 1970s on the Isle of Mull. Their population was slow to grow at first. There are now over 130 pairs of white-tailed seagulls in Scotland, which is absolutely fantastic. As I mentioned, all the eagles are coming from Norway. They will take young eagles from nests where there are 2 or more chicks. That's to ensure that the population in Norway can continue to grow and they can continue to rear and fledge chicks, but also enable the population to be supported here in the UK and in the Hebrides. With white-tailed seagull populations on the rise, conservationists and wildlife enthusiasts are celebrating their reintroduction success. However, not everyone is pleased to see the eagles return to UK shores. White-tailed seagulls were driven to extinction in the UK by systemic persecution at the hands of man. They are threatened throughout their range and have been negatively impacted by habitat loss, illegal nest disturbances, raptor persecution, poison, pesticides and pollutants. Many of these persecution threats remain. The United Kingdom is one of the most wildlife depleted countries in the world, and we have nearly extirpated all of our large megafauna and predators. We have a very zoophobic attitude as a nation when it comes to the reintroduction of apex predators like wolves, lynx and eagles, and we have a long way to go before we catch up to the rest of Europe when it comes to wildlife reintroductions and rewilding. Without predators, our ecosystems are not functioning optimally and are out of balance. Predators and people can coexist. There just needs to be clear communication and involvement of all stakeholders and mitigation strategies put in place to ensure that both people and predators can thrive.
One of the biggest socio-economic benefits of having the eagles back on Mull is the rise of the wildlife tourism industry. The majority of tourists coming to Mull to see the eagles are photographers and they want to see them in their natural habitat and get those key shots. People just like us. This industry brings £5 million to Mull every year through both direct spending, through wildlife tours, and indirect spending, like Airbnbs, camping and restaurants. As with any industry, there is a slightly darker, more controversial side. Some of the wildlife tours on Mull that are for eagle photography and eagle sightings do bait and feed the eagles. They throw the dead fish in the water so you can get that shot of the eagle coming in, grabbing it with its talons and flying off. From what we've heard, it's absolutely incredible, but any wildlife tour or tourism operation that is feeding wild animals is always worth questioning. The impact on these eagles of these tour operations is unknown, but multiple tour operations happening multiple times a day is a lot of food for all these eagles, and that means that they won't be hunting in the natural system as much. So the impact on the prey populations or the scavenger populations, we don't know, but it could be problematic going forward. We've also heard from other photographers and second-hand experiences that the eagles definitely recognise these boats. They know the feeding times and they know if they follow these boats they're going to get food. Wildlife tourism is really important to conservation. The more people we have coming out and seeing these animals and how impressive and beautiful they are in their natural system, the more likely these people are going to want to help protect them and conserve them. So overall, wildlife tourism is hugely important to wildlife conservation. But please make sure you're practicing ethical wildlife tourism and make sure you ask questions and do question practices like feeding of wild animals and the possible impacts this could have.
When reintroducing and managing populations of large predators like white-tailed sea eagles, weighing up the pros and cons and having open discussions with all stakeholders is of utmost importance. White-tailed sea eagles are here to stay, and with the rewilding movement providing an opportunity for other predators to follow in their footsteps, maybe it's time for us to rewild ourselves and relearn how to coexist with predators once again.